come with me for a day out in Camden. So I had tickets to go and see Tom Odell perform live, tried my first ever Korean corndog, went exploring around Camden Market and just had one of the best days out ever. Guys, I cannot believe that I am able to make this video. I managed to secure £15 tickets to see Tom Odell. For those of you who do not know who Tom Odell is, just go on TikTok and search Another Love and you will start crying. He is literally the king of the heartbreak anthems. I'm not heartbroken, but I still was like, I actually have to go and see him live. So I was in Camden and I decided to just make a whole day out of it. Can we just applaud these pretty buildings here? So essentially, we were just walking around Camden. I went to this concert with my bestie, who I dragged along, who had never heard of Tom Odell in his life. But I was like, I'm going, so you are too. And yeah, so we were just walking around Camden, getting to see the sights. They had beautiful scenery. It was a grey day, but it was still so pretty. And then we were walking through the market. So Camden is this really vibrant, big, bright place. For those of you who do not know, there's loads of arts, there's loads of music. It's just a really colourful, happy, amazing place. And so we were wandering around. And then my bestie was like, have you ever had Bunsik? And I was like, what is that? I cannot believe I lived 19 years of my life before trying a Korean corn dog. I cannot believe I'd never had one of these before. It's essentially a sausage dipped in batter, and then you can have different stuff on the outside. And I had never had this in my entire life. Oh my goodness, I could literally eat these for the rest of my life, forever, every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And naturally, we're at that point in the video where I have to shout out my memberships. If you had my membership, you would have seen the behind the scenes of today. You would have got a lot more content than I'm able to put in this video because you get copyrighted when you film concerts. So a lot of the actual clips we're posting on my Instagram. If you haven't already got my membership, it is 99p, the cheapest I can make it, and YouTube takes nearly 50% of that. So please just do me a favor, help a girl out, and the link is in my description and should be coming up on the screen right now. Anyways, back to Bunsik. So here was my corn dog. I was a bit scared because I didn't really know how to eat it. I got this spicy mayo on it, and then I got ketchup because I could literally drink ketchup, but that's a different story. I was scared to eat this. I was so scared because the size of it is like not even in a I was just like, how do I put this in my mouth and take a bite in a civilized manner and not have the whole thing explode? And the cheese pulls I got were extraordinary. So there's another clip coming up where the cheese pulls were literally astronomical. Like, I've never in my life been graced with such an incredible cheese pull, and I was really privileged in that moment that I got to witness such a masterpiece. These fries were to die for. That's what my friend got as well. He went with the mayo. Yeah, look at this cheese pull. I literally didn't know what to do because I kept biting and the cheese kept pulling, and I was like, well, what do we do now? And so after we got dinner, then we decided to walk up this lovely road. You guys can see how like busy and vibrant this place is, right? There's just so much going on, so many sights to see, so many people who I was like, what are you doing? But anyway, we were then making our way to the Roundhouse. So the Roundhouse is a music venue, but they are also a not charity, but they're more like an organization where they support young artists, young upcoming artists who want to hone their music skills. And so the concert tonight, the reason why the tickets were so affordable is because Tom Odell decided to partner with the Roundhouse, and they were essentially going to help launch a load of artists. So it was like an introductory concert to all of these different artists to kind of give them a taste of what it's like, help boost their platform, which I thought was a really sweet idea. But anyways, we're walking through all of these markets. There was loads of food stores, there's loads of clothing stores. If any of you want to spend a day in London and don't know where to go, just wander around Camden Market. It's so beautiful, there's so much going on, you will literally get overstimulated. I wish we could have stayed for longer in the market, but we had to get going to the concert. And funnily enough, I was vlogging and then I saw one of my friends from school that I hadn't seen in nearly a year. And I was like, no way, we just happened to bump into each other while I'm headed to this concert. Then we arrived at the Roundhouse and we were queuing, but thankfully the queue wasn't too long. It was quite funny because my bestie was like, the demographic of people there are not going to be matching us. For context, I am a black young girl, right? And Tom Odell's kind of known for his sad heartbreak kind of type songs, so we were kind of not expecting to see any other black faces in the crowd. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I was the only black person that I saw in this concert, but that's completely fine, because music is for everyone. So we were just essentially just waiting to go inside. We got to queue up. So we were standing seats because I was not paying £60 for seated seats. Yeah, I should have led with that. The tickets were cheap because we were at the very back. But the way Roundhouse is such a lovely venue. This is when the concert started. I was having the time of my life. Roundhouse is such a lovely venue because the stage is in the middle and then everyone's seated in a circle. So even if you're at the back, you can still see everything.
How are you guys doing? It's a joy to be back on stage, I must say. Thank you for coming this evening. This is an evening to celebrate music and to celebrate the Roundhouse and all the good that the Roundhouse does for the community and for.
So as I mentioned before, I cannot put the clips of his music, but if you don't know who Tom Odell is, here are some songs to listen to. But it was literally so fun. It was so nice as well to hear the music that I listened to that got me through like exam season. For example, like one of Tom Odell's songs was number 2 on my Spotify Wrapped. So getting to hear it live in person with him literally like 50 meters in front of me was an absolutely amazing experience. And live music in general is just such a vibe. This was my first concert that I've been to that hasn't been like a Christian concert or a gospel concert, and I really honestly loved every single second of it. So here are all the other acts who supported him throughout the night. It was a mix of his music and their music because they're new artists. They're kind of just getting a feel for the industry. So he kind of launched them with him as well, which I thought was a really, really sweet thing for him to do. This was the end of the concert. The rush to get out was not as bad as I would have thought. I do have to say the concert was delayed, so it ended up being like 3.5 hours we were in there for, which was a lot longer than I had been expecting. But all in all, it was an amazing day and I had so much fun. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon with another video.